Hello, and welcome back, everyone. Welcome to a brand new season of English Matura with JB, the podcast designed to help Hungarian high school students master their English, build unstoppable confidence, and ace the English Matura exam without stress. I'm your host, JB, and whether you are listening on your headphones on the morning bus to school, walking the dog, or taking a quick break between classes, I am so excited to have you with us today. Today is our very special back-to-school kickoff episode. September is here. The summer holidays are behind us, the school bags are packed, and I know exactly what many of you are feeling right now. Some of you are excited to see your friends again, but some of you are probably feeling a little bit of anxiety, thinking, oh no, the Matura is getting closer. What if my English isn't good enough? What if I get stuck? Well, take a deep breath. You are in the right place. Today, we are going to talk about how to make this school year your best, most stress-free, and most successful year ever. And I'm not doing this alone. Joining me in the studio today is a wonderful English teacher and learning coach, Sarah. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hi, Arthur. Hello, everyone. It is so great to be here. A huge welcome back to school to all the students listening across Hungary. I remember being in high school myself. That first week of September always feels like a roller coaster of emotions, but it really is the best time of the year because of one magical psychological superpower.
Ooh, I love that. What superpower are you talking about, Sarah?
It's called the fresh start effect. Psychologists at the University of Pennsylvania discovered that our brains don't experience time as one long, boring line. We divide time into chapters using what scientists call temporal landmarks, dates like New Year's Day, our birthday, or the very first week of the school year. When you cross a landmark like September 1st, your brain naturally wipes the mental slate clean. That was the old me. This is the new me.
That is such an important message for our listeners. Let's make this very practical. Maybe last year you got a grade 3 on your English report card. Maybe you forgot your homework 3 times in a row, or you struggled with the past tense. Guess what? Today, your gradebook is a completely blank page. 0 missed assignments, 100% potential. Last year's difficulties do not control this year's results. You have a clean slate. Let's teach our first keyword here, a clean slate. Sarah, how would you use clean slate in a sentence?
I would say, don't worry about last semester's grammar test. This new school year gives you a completely clean slate.
Exactly. And that brings us to our second big idea today, which comes from a famous computer science professor at Stanford University named John Oosterhout. He shared a simple rule with his students. A little bit of slope makes up for a lot of y-intercept. Now don't worry, this isn't a stressful math class. Let's explain what this visual metaphor means for your English.
Think of a graph with an x-axis and a y-axis. The y-intercept is where you start at the baseline on day 1. Some students in your class might start with a high baseline because they watch English Netflix every single day. The slope is the angle, your rate of growth and effort over time. If a student with a high starting level gets lazy and stops studying, their line stays completely flat. But if you start with a lower baseline and come to class curious, practice for 10 minutes a day, and learn new vocabulary, your slope is steep. And mathematical research proves that a steep slope always overtakes a flat starting point.
Yes! So please, never look at a classmate and say, oh, they are just naturally gifted at English and I'm not. Where you start on day 1 is completely irrelevant. What matters is your trajectory. You have 100% control over your slope starting today. Now, Sarah, let's talk about the biggest mistake students make in the first 2 weeks of September. I call it the September hero trap.
Oh, I know this one so well. A student gets super motivated on day 1. They buy 3 new notebooks, sit down at their desk, and declare, starting today, I will study English for 4 hours every evening, read a 500-page novel in English, and memorize 100 new words a day. And what happens by day 10?
They are completely burned out, exhausted, and they give up. In his best-selling book, Atomic Habits, author James Clear talks about the 1% rule. If you get just 1% better at something every day for 1 year, you end up 37 times better by the end of the year. Let's repeat that. Not 37% better. 37 times better.
That is the power of compounding. Small, smart daily choices, repeated consistently over time, create radical transformations. So what does a 1% daily habit look like in real life for a high school student? Change the menu language on your smartphone to English. Listen to one 5-minute English podcast or one English YouTube video while getting ready in the morning. Review just 3 new vocabulary words before going to sleep. Read the English lyrics of your favorite song on Spotify.
That feels so easy that it's almost impossible to fail. And when you feel that heavy feeling called procrastination, when you sit down to write an English essay and suddenly you want to clean your bedroom or scroll TikTok, use the 2-minute rule from Stanford scientist Dr. B.J. Fogg. I don't have to write the whole 150-word Matura essay right now. I am just going to sit down and write one single sentence for 2 minutes. Why? Because 80% of the friction is just starting. Once you start writing that first sentence, your momentum kicks in, the resistance disappears, and you will naturally keep going.
Let's address the elephant in the room. The fear of speaking English in class. Why didn't you raise your hand when the teacher asked a question? They almost always give the same answer. I was afraid of making a mistake. I didn't want to look stupid in front of my classmates.
Yes, that fear is so common. But let's share 2 amazing psychological concepts from our inspirational notes that will change how you think about mistakes forever. The first concept is the learning pit, created by educator James Nottingham. Whenever you learn something challenging in English, like when to use the present perfect or how to use a complex conditional clause, you naturally fall into a pit of confusion.
Wait, this is confusing. I don't understand.
Confusion is not a sign of failure. Confusion is the feeling of your brain building new neural connections. If an English lesson feels 100% easy, you aren't actually learning anything new. You only grow when you are in the pit, asking questions, trying words out, and climbing up the other side to mastery.
And to help you climb out of the pit without fear, remember the spotlight effect, discovered by psychology researchers at Cornell University. When we speak English, we feel like a giant. Blinding theater spotlight is shining directly on us. Everyone is staring at my mouth, counting my grammatical mistakes, and judging my accent. Do you know what psychology experiments have proved? Less than 20% of people ever notice what you are self-conscious about. Why? Because your classmates aren't analyzing your grammar. They are sitting in their seats, worried about their own hair, their own phone, or what they will say when it's their turn.
Everyone is in their own spotlight, so turn down that spotlight in your mind. Nobody is judging your accent. In fact, speaking English with a Hungarian accent is not a defect. It is a badge of honor that proves you have the bravery to speak more than one language.
Let's bring all this mindset magic directly into your English Matura preparation. Here are 4 golden 1% rules for the 4 parts of the exam. Don't stop and panic every time you see a word you don't know. You don't need to know 100% of the words to understand 100% of the story. Use context clues to guess the general meaning. Train your ear with short, daily English audio. Listen to podcasts or watch English Netflix with English subtitles. Never Hungarian subtitles. Hungarian subtitles force your brain to read Hungarian rather than listen to English. Keep your sentences clear and simple. In the B1 Matura email or letter, examiners reward clarity and correct structure, not overly complicated 5-line sentences with 10 commas. Use clear linking words like, however, in addition, for instance, in my opinion. Use the rubber duck technique. If you don't have a speaking partner at home, put a small rubber duck or an object on your desk and describe a picture or answer a Matura topic out loud in English for 2 minutes to the duck. It builds oral fluency and speed.
I love the rubber duck technique. It feels silly at first, but it trains your mouth muscles to produce English words without hesitation. Courage over perfection. Communication is a bridge between 2 human beings, not a math equation. Well, friends, that brings us to the end of our back-to-school special on English Matura with JB. Let's quickly recap our top 3 mindset shifts for this school year. The fresh start effect. Today is a clean slate. Your past grades do not define your future. Slope over y-intercept and the 1% rule. It doesn't matter where you start. Getting 1% better every day will compound into 37 times growth by June. Courage over perfection. Mistakes in the learning pit are proof that your brain is growing. Turn down the spotlight and speak up.
And now, it's time for your challenge of the week. Here is your mission for the next 7 days. Pick one tiny 1% English habit that takes less than 3 minutes a day. For example, listening to one podcast episode, changing your phone to English, or writing 2 sentences in an English diary. and do it every single day this week.
Tell us in the comments or send us a message. What is your 1% habit for this week? Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us today.
Thank you, and best of luck to all the amazing students listening. You've got this.
You really do have this. Have a wonderful first week of school. Stay curious, embrace the mistakes, and I'll catch you soon on English Matura with JB.